Come with me for fun in my buggy. Come along, let's go for the Halloween. See the birds around, they're all looking. Wonder if they like to come for a ride. I'll bet you anything. Now shake with me, there'll be no trouble. Troubles around, bet you'll never ever get away. Never ever get away.
Today we will descend from the hills to the seaside, and we will have a short walk in Ålesund. We will have a car accident, so we will mainly discuss today how did it happen and how we were solving the things around the accident in the Norway. Also, at the end of the episode there will be Handyman's Corner, where we will discuss internet during the journey, SIM cards, Wi-Fi's, and how we were fighting with that. Hi, my name is Václav, and this is next episode of our journey to Northern Lights. So after mountain crossings that we covered in last episode, today we started at Langvatnet Lake, around 1000 meters above sea level, and through few tunnels and the valley with beautiful views, we went in the way into the Ålesund. First we reached city of Stream. There was a service station, so we drained grey water and black water, refilled fresh water, and there was also separated waste, so we throw up our waste there. Also there was a gas station, and I think we get some hot dogs or burgers there, something like that. From Stryn we were heading to Ålesund. We drove to city of Volda, and there we drove around the roundabout and went on the main road from the small hill, and from the small street, from the house area, there were driving old lady, 90 years old, and she drove right in front of us, and we had crashed into her. It was small impact. I hit the brakes. I tried to steer to avoid the hit, but there were cars in the opposite lane as well, so I couldn't steer that much. So we crashed. We were almost stopped when we crashed, so it was nothing special. The hit on our car was under the right front light, to the fog light and to the corner of the car. The lady, she had a red Suzuki. Since there was quite small overlap of the cars, so we took off her whole front bumper. It went right into our fog light, so it was locked in our car, and that's what happened. So when it happened, we were on the main road, so cars started to driving around us, so I carefully went out of the car. I pulled the handbrake on the caravan. I took kids out of the car. There was a grass area next to the street, so they took a blanket and sit there. We also took out the emergency triangle, or how is it called? And that was it. After the impact, the lady was quite confused. She started reversing out of the place. So Lucia went to her and asked her if everything is okay, and told her to stay on the spot and don't drive anywhere. So in few moments police came to the place. Those were two young policemen. They both spoke English, so it was okay. They did photos of the accident and some other stuff. They asked me to do a testimony, so it was quite fun because the policeman was recording it on his mobile phone and he was writing down a note. He asked me if I agree that it will be recorded, that I agree it will be in English. He read to me his notes about 3 times again, and he will asking again and again if I agree with all that. So it was okay. They told us that it is obvious from the situation that we are not the culprit of the accident, that we are like victim, that it was not our fault. So I was happy about that. The lady was not, at least I think, she was not hurt anyhow, but due to her age, it was better to call emergency to ensure she is okay, and she also was quite confused and a little bit shocked, so it was better to ensure she is okay. The lady in the beginning stayed in her car, and then she was in the care of the emergency, so we did not fill with her any papers about the accident, any report for the insurance company. So that was one mistake we did. And when I asked those cops if they will give me some report or something, some notice about the accident, they told me that they will not, and that I should call some Norwegian police official number, and that they will provide me there what I will need for the insurance company, and that everything will be handled there. So everything was sorted out. Cops looked on our car and said that we can drive with that with no problem. I'm not too sure because the fog light was dead, and also there was some plastic parts sticking into the air, but I was happy that we can leave the place. But anyway, after the accident we end up with a crashed car, and we did not have any paper in hand, any confirmation or information about anybody. So we were kind of curious how we will solve it with insurance company and stuff. And you will see it was not too easy. So before we started sorting out things with insurance companies and stuff, we had to move to Ålesund. So we departed from Volda. We had one ferry to cross before we got to Ålesund. From the ferry we don't have much footage because obviously we were kind of stressed from the accident, and we were not in the mood to do some footage and stuff. In the Ålesund we found only one camping in Park for Night application. There were also some RV parkings right in the city, but from the photos it looked like they might be too small for us with car and trailer. So we went to the camp. The camp had quite low rating in the application. There were some complaints about the staff in the camp, that they don't care too much about what's going on in camp. We came there, it was Sunday. We came there in Sunday evening, and it is true that I was not able to find anybody in reception, so we find some place, set everything up. I tried few times to reach anybody in reception, but nobody was there. But the next day there already was somebody, and we checked in with no troubles, so it was okay. The camp itself was okay, all equipment was in place, but also nothing special. Also in the camp we add another sticker to our blind map on the caravan. Emilka was shooting it, and finally these shots are slightly usable. So you can have a look on this important moment. And so, back to the accident. When we came on the Sunday evening in the camp, Lucia called to the insurance company to inform them about it and to get information what we will need to get together to be able to solve the accident and to cover it from the insurance. There is one thing in our insurance agreement. We have service called something like direct filling, and that means that when you are the victim of the accident, you would usually have to contact the insurance company of the other part, of the one who caused that accident, and communicate with his insurance company, because this company will cover the damages. But with this direct filling, we should get the damages covered by our insurance company, and they will then sort it out with the insurance company of the one who caused that accident. It was quite good service in this case, because I guess it would be quite more complicated if we had to get into the communication with this Norwegian insurance company. Anyway, I don't know how it is in other parts of the world, but in Czech and I guess in Europe in general, the most important thing to do after the accident, if possible, is to fill up a report of the accident. Usually everybody has the empty unfilled report in the car, and it is common, if it is possible, that those two who had crashed fill it up together, and you get there then basic information about both, about their insurances and stuff. But we didn't do that, so we were missing all the needed information. And the insurance company told us that we need those information to start handling this accident. So I found the official number to Norwegian police, and even though I think I can work with cell phone as anybody else, I was not able to do a call to this number from my Czech phone. I was trying to put there various prefixes to the number, or call it straight without prefix. I was simply not able to reach that number from the phone with the abroad SIM. So official number was not reachable for me. Another thing that what I did was that I called to the police station in Volda, that is the city where we had the accident. They connected me to the guy who was investigating this accident, and he basically told me that the case is not closed yet and that he cannot provide me any information about that. So another thing what I did was to go to the police station in Ålesund. It was a big station, and there were counters, so I took a number like in a bank or on a post, waited for some time and went to the counter. So I described my issue there, and the guy at the counter basically told me the same, that the case is not closed and that he cannot provide me any information, but when he saw my misery, he printed out the unclosed case on the paper, and he pulled from it like small strip of paper and on this strip were contact information on the lady that were in the accident with us, and also he gave me contact to the guy in Volda who was investigating it, but mainly he provided me with the case number, so it was some important information that might be used later. With the name of the lady, I tried to find her online in that city. I found some phone number, so I tried to call there, but nobody answered the phone. I was thinking about if we get in touch with her or with her family, that we might go back there and fill up the report of the accident, but I was not able to get in touch with them. So we did another call to the insurance company. This time there was some operator that tried to be more helpful, and they proposed us to call Czech Office of Insurance Providers, which is kind of organization that covers all insurance companies, because they should have all European database of accidents, and that they could provide us some more details about the accident. And luckily it was exactly the case. We called there and they had this accident already reported in the database, and they had information about the insurance company of that lady. And with this, our insurance company already confirmed that it seems to be all they need to cover the damage. So it was quite relief for us, and we could focus on further trip. But we still had a crashed car. So we were thinking about how to solve it. In the camp in Ålesund, I went under the car and I was looking if there is something that might fall off or something. I took from the fog light, there was broken off some like this big piece of computer that is connected to the fog light, so I took it out, and also actual LED lights of the fog lamp. And there were some plastic parts like sticking out into the air. I tried to squeeze them together somehow, but it did not work too well. From the beginning we thought that we will get it fixed in Czech Republic once we are back, but also I was searching on the internet that Sankyong have dealers in Norway, Sweden, Finland, so I planned to visit some dealer to discuss if it isn't possible in some lucky case that they would have spare parts and it would be possible to fix it on the way. The insurance company told us that it would be possible to cover the repair in abroad as well. So now we will get a little bit into the future, into Trondheim. And in the Trondheim there is Sankyong dealer, so I went there, asked there about the possibility of repair, and they told me there is a service that they have for these cases about 1 kilometer from the dealers, so I went there. It was in some garages, and in the service they assured me that they don't have spare parts for such repair, and that they even won't have time to do it in few days. But they helped me because one guy from the service spent about 20 minutes on the car, and he put all the plastics together. He screws few screws in it, and actually regained the original shape, so there was just a broken fog lamp and some scratches, but at first glance it looked almost like when nothing happened. So I was very happy about it. They didn't want to pay anything for it. So and the repair at home after the return, maybe those who has Sankyong as well already knows. Yeah, we are waiting for spare parts for 3 months already. So we have the car still crashed and waiting for front bumper, fog light and this stuff. So it is still not fixed. So it was about the accident. Maybe if some of you also had accident in abroad, let us know how were you solving and if you had it also complicated as us or if it was easier for you. Luckily in Ålesund we were not there just to solve the accident. We also went there for some trips. For example, we went on trip to the view spot Axla. On the view spot there is also bus station and there was also one RV park. There is also restaurant, but we didn't get in and I don't know if it was open at all. It is possible to go by stairs to the view spot from the center of Ålesund, but we avoided the stairs and went there by car. There is a statue of a poemist and theatre critic Christopher Anders, who died in 1917. There was very nice view on the center of the Ålesund and on the surrounding islands. From the Axla view spot we went to have a walk in the harbor in city center. On the walk Kid helped us with shooting, so you can see we have very authentic recording of the walk. In the harbor there was very nice sunset, and in the spots where between the ships and buildings it was possible to see the sunset, there were groups of tourists taking photos, so we joined them and took one as well. And here are some souvenirs. I'm not sure if it was slush or some hot dogs or some other things that caught girls' attention, but I'm pretty sure it was not cheap. In the next episode we will stay in Ålesund because we went to wonderful aquarium, Atlantic Sea Park, and it was so cool, so beautiful. I think it will take up a whole next episode. So stay tuned, it will be interesting. And now let's start Handyman Corner. So today let's have a talk about the internet connection during these travels, SIM cards, data, Wi-Fi and stuff. So I will start with description of our needs for the data connection and why we have to solve it in the way we do. We have quite huge consumption of the data because all three kids have phones and laptops, and they are watching videos all the time and playing online games and calling with the friends and stuff. So they really consume a lot of data. And I work online. I don't need so much data for it, but I need to be online and I need to be sure that I am online, because even out of the working hours, if something happens, I need to be able to respond or something, so I need to be sure that I'm online. I need to avoid situation when we reach out some data limit and we would stay offline. We have 3 unlimited SIM cards from Vodafone, Czech SIM cards, and in European Union it means we have 65 gigs of data per month on each SIM card. And Norway, nevertheless, it's not a part of European Union. It is in the same area, or same rules applies. So even in Norway we have 65 gigs on each SIM card for a month. In the caravan we have a router with antenna on the roof. It's MaxView Roam. And there is antenna for Wi-Fi and cell phone signal on the roof, and inside the caravan there is router with Wi-Fi, and it is possible to put a SIM card into it. I can summarize it that this thing works quite well if you put SIM card in it and you are on one place or you stay in one country. Then you can connect to the Wi-Fi and it works quite reliably, and you have the connection in the caravan. But for any other purpose it does not work that well. Its administration is quite old style, let's say, so it is not too easy to do any configuration. And with SIM cards you often have to set cell phone signal provider by hand, and usually you have all the time to do some configuration and stuff to make it working. The configuration of MaxView Roam is quite complicated. For example, if you are connected to the router by Wi-Fi and you do some change in configuration, then the router restarts and you lost connection to the Wi-Fi. So you need to reconnect, get into the administration again and check what the changes did. So I've ended up with connecting cable to it when I want to configure anything there. And when you are crossing the borders you usually have to set another provider for the data and stuff, so it does not work automatically. It is not ideal solution. Also, this also offers something like Wi-Fi amplification, because with the antenna on the roof you should be able to have better reception for nearby Wi-Fi, and it creates its own Wi-Fi in caravan. So when you are in camp you should be able to catch the Wi-Fi from camp and in the car work on your local Wi-Fi, but this function does not work almost at all. I was able to make it working once or twice and it was extremely unreliable. It worked for a few minutes and then it got disconnected and you had to go into the configuration, try to connect it again. Since it has quite old school user interface, you don't see there if you are actually connected or why you are not connected and stuff, so this function is completely useless. Main advantage of this should be obviously that you have better reception for the cell signal or for the Wi-Fi, but it also does not have this advantage at all. It has same or worse reception for both of them than a regular cell phone. Here I will step in, because during preparation of the video I found that there is a mobile application for MaxView Roam, so I went to Caravan to check it, but I was not able to connect it to the router. The application requests a serial number which is written on the router box, and nevertheless I've checked it a few times that I have the serial number written properly. The application didn't connect to it. You can check if I wrote the number right, so it kind of illustrates like advanced features of this MaxView Roam. Also, when I was there, I tried to connect the router to Wi-Fi that I've done with my cell phone, and in this case it worked, so I was able to connect to Wi-Fi roaming or enhancing, so this time it worked. So this box I see advantage if you have several SIM cards in different countries, so you can just take out one SIM card, put there another, do the configuration and run on it, so then it might work quite well, but anything more than this is questionable. Beside our Czech Vodafone SIM cards, we also have a global data SIM card from company Vraptel, and it is Canadian company, and they have data packages. There are packages for some amount of data, or there are unlimited packages for some period of time, like 5-10 days and stuff. They've recently added a daily limit for these packages, so I think on the most expensive package, the premium, there is 2 gigs per day, so it's nothing special. But this SIM card usually works. You order the SIM card from them, they send it for free, and once you have it, you can order those packages on their web page. They have packages for Europe Union, North America and various areas. There is also some global package, I think, so you can choose what you need. I think this most expensive variant with 2 gigs per day for Europe and for 7 days costs about $25. The speed of the connection is not the best, but usually you can run one YouTube video from it, or work, or have some calls through this connection. It usually works. So with those daily limits, I think this is a solution for somebody who wants work or wants to plan further trips through this connection, but it is nothing for media and watching YouTube. Not sure about the online playing, but there are some usages. Since they send you the SIM card for free, I think it is a quite good idea to get your SIM card, and if you travel somewhere, you can get in the place, offer some cheap data package and check how does it work in the place. If it works, you are okay. If it does not work, you pay just a few dollars, and the loss is small, and you can go search for some local SIM card in the place. So for me it looks like there is no ultimate solution that would cover it all. because also, for example, in Finland, when we were traveling between bigger cities and we wanted to find some place just next to road to sleep over, there were many places without data connection. There was simply no working internet through cell phone, so even if you have ultimate unlimited SIM card package, it won't help you because there are places with no reception. So with this setup, how did we do on our way? In Germany, Denmark and Sweden, we were connected mainly through this Wraptel data SIM card, and it worked well. But once we crossed border to Norway, it almost stopped working. It worked sometime, but it was very slow and almost unusable for watching videos and stuff. So we started consuming data from our SIM cards that we have in phones. So we have there about 180 gigs to spare. But it was for about 2 weeks, and I think in Trondheim we had to actually start looking for another solution. I was looking for some Norwegian local unlimited data SIM cards already before we went to the trip. I couldn't find much. They obviously have some unlimited SIM cards and programs, but usually those are only for Norwegian citizens. In other words, you need to have their D number, and I guess only citizens have one. And I think if you are working in Norway for some extended period, you get some from the authorities for taxing purposes or something. But as a tourist, you cannot just get a regular Norwegian SIM card. So we found company Michael, and they have SIM cards with prepaid packages. You can buy this SIM card on gas stations or I think in 7-Eleven shops. We bought one for 49 Norwegian crowns, and as a foreigner, when you are buying it, you need to fill a small form that you give to the staff at the shop where you are buying it, and they send it to the company. You then have the SIM card activated in 1 or 2 days. Once it is activated, you can buy the packages. We were looking only for data, and nevertheless they have data only packages. We found that cheapest is to buy like package of calling of some minutes to the various countries with additional data. There was 50 gigs of data was possible to buy with this package, and it costs 599 Norwegian crowns. So first we bought some minutes to call to Europe Union. Next we bought some minutes to Syria, then to Thailand and stuff. So we were buying minutes to these exotic destinations, and along with that we were getting those free data. They have nice application for that. You see how many data are remaining, and if you buy 2 packages, you see there the cumulative value. You see that you have 100 gigabytes remaining. So with this card, with our 3 Czech Vodafone cards and the one international data SIM card, we were able somehow to manage to live through this journey, but sometimes it was complicated and we had to watch how much data we have spent and stuff. Regarding Wi-Fi connection in camps and on some parkings, on our journey we met first usable Wi-Fi that we simply could use, that everybody just get connected to the Wi-Fi and did what he needs. We met such Wi-Fi the day before we ended the journey in Poland on truck parking. Until that, in neither camp, in neither parking, we didn't found Wi-Fi that would simply work. In Helsinki, we asked the staff to put us somewhere near the Wi-Fi. They did, but nevertheless, the Wi-Fi simply did not work, that you can just use it and don't care about that. So, if you are not going to the camp, you know that there is reliable Wi-Fi. When you are traveling, you cannot rely that there will be usable Wi-Fi that you can use from the caravan, from the spot where you are parked. So we don't count Wi-Fis at all when we are traveling. So it is about all how we were handling the data on the way, and what fun we had with that. And how do you handle data when you are traveling? Do you have some ultimate solution? Let us know, maybe you have some better ideas than we had. So, thank you for your attention. It is about it. Next time we will visit that wonderful aquarium in Ålesund. So stay tuned for next episodes. Thank you and goodbye.